Hello all and welcome to today's video. My name is John McFall and I want to welcome you to the McFallRI channel where I teach you how to make $25 to $30 an hour doing food delivery, and I also teach you how to make semi-passive income. Today I want to talk to you about the fact that these apps that we use to do food delivery will change in your marketplace over time. And this is something that can affect the income that you're making when you're out here doing food delivery. There are a lot of people that they are stuck on one food delivery app, and in some marketplaces, I work in Auburn, Indiana. It's a population of 15,000 people, and DoorDash is king there. It will probably always be king there because that's the only app up there. I do have Uber Eats up there, but they are very sporadic and I don't get a lot of orders. So I kind of want to talk to you about the fact that these apps and what they do in your marketplace might change over time if you work in a bigger marketplace. So before I get into that topic, I would like to remind you that here in my description, I always put a lot of tools for you guys to use, and the one I want to talk to you about is my metric spreadsheet. I put this spreadsheet together for you guys. It's a free download, and I'm going to throw it up here on the screen real quick so you guys can take a quick look at it. If you look on the left-hand side, you'll see I always put my start time and my end time. This gives me the total time that I've worked. I also put in the miles, and then if you head to the right, you'll see for each individual app, I put the dollars that I've made, the time that I worked, along with the number of deliveries. Then look at the bottom and you'll see that it calculates out what your average dollar per hour, dollar per mile, along with your average per delivery. If you want to know how well you're doing when you're out here doing food delivery so you can see where you need to improve, the only way that you can do this is to keep track of your numbers. So if you haven't done it yet, go down in my description and go grab that metric spreadsheet for yourself. And with that, let's get into the topic. So as I said at the beginning of the video, Auburn, Indiana, it's a population of 15,000 people, and DoorDash is the only app up there that you can really make any money on. They consistently have orders in that marketplace. It only started in October of 2020, and Uber was there prior to that. However, Uber is just very sporadic up there, and I don't get a whole lot of orders ever. So in Auburn, DoorDash is king, and DoorDash is likely always going to be king in that marketplace. However, when I go down into Fort Wayne, Indiana, which is a population of 265,000 people, the whole marketplace is where I work. Even on DoorDash, they don't segment out that marketplace. The whole marketplace, which is about 15 miles north to south and about 20 miles east to west, I can work anywhere in that marketplace on all three apps. And guess what? Last year when I was doing food delivery in Fort Wayne, I always turned on Uber Eats first because they sent me the best, the highest paying, the best dollar per mile orders when I was out there working. So I always relied on or Uber Eats as my cash cow because I made the most money in my marketplace on Uber Eats. About 6 months ago, I noticed that Uber started to slow down on me a little bit. They were not sending me the quantity of orders that I was used to getting. On top of that, the orders that they were sending me were less in dollars. I was getting a lot of order and pay requests on Uber Eats, and they would pay me literally $25 to $40 an order when I did an order and pay on Uber Eats. That slowed down on me, and they stopped sending as many of those types of orders to me. Also, over the last 6 months, when they send me order and pay requests, whereas it used to be $25 to $40 for an order, it is now anywhere from about $13 to about $20 for order and pay requests on Uber Eats. I still do them because I fill in the time when I'm out there and I get order and pay requests. When I get those orders, I call the order in and I go out there and work on the other apps and make money while I'm waiting on orders to be complete. But I will say that Uber Eats has slowed down a lot in the amount of orders I'm getting, along with the amount of money that they are paying me for the orders that I get, compared to about 6 months ago. On top of this, when I'm in my marketplace over the last 6 months, the order requests that I get on GrubHub have increased. I get a lot more order requests from GrubHub when I'm in Fort Wayne than I used to get. So I used to get a lot of orders on Uber Eats and really high paying orders, and in the last 6 months that has slowed down. And on the flip side of that, I used to get some orders on GrubHub and the pay wasn't that good, and over the last 6 months they have actually increased in my marketplace. I make really good money on GrubHub now when I go into Fort Wayne. So now Fort Wayne, when I get to that marketplace, I turn on GrubHub first, and I really rely on GrubHub as my cash cow, and Uber Eats is now in second place. The only reason that Uber Eats is still above DoorDash for me is because when I do get requests from Uber Eats, they are typically better dollars per hour, dollars per order, and dollars per mile than what DoorDash sends me. However, I get a lot of orders on DoorDash too, because orders from Uber Eats has slowed down on me tremendously. So kind of wanted to talk to you about this today, because in your marketplace, if you have one app that you really relied on to get you orders when you were out there doing food delivery, you really got to pay attention to what the apps are doing in your marketplace, because it can change over time. And what used to be your cash cow in your marketplace might not be so much anymore. And if you're only relying on that one app, or you're focusing on that one app above the rest of them, you might not really even notice this. I've talked about in some of my other videos the fact that these platforms are businesses. Because they are businesses, they do marketing in marketplaces, and over time, a platform like Uber Eats might slow down because GrubHub has really ramped up their marketing and brought people from Uber Eats and brought them over to GrubHub as the platform of choice that they use when they want to order food. So you really got to pay attention to the apps in your marketplace and what they are doing over time, so that you can see which app is going to pay you the most money. And you've got to understand that because these platforms market in different ways in different marketplaces, and sometimes they might ramp up what they're doing in your marketplace, that the top app in your marketplace might change. So you've got to really focus and pay attention to what's going on the apps, and you might have to change which app is the best app in your marketplace. I hope that you got a lot out of today's video, and I hope that I taught you a little bit, because we are out here doing food delivery to make the most dollars per hour and the highest dollars per mile when we are out here that we can. We are in business for ourselves, and the orders that we accept are based on what we need when we go out. And if you're not paying attention to what the apps are doing and how they might change in your marketplace over time, you're losing money. So make sure that you're always paying attention to what the apps are doing. And if you notice that one is doing better and starts to do better than another one, then really focus your attention on that particular app and make that your number one app in your marketplace, so that you can get the most money for you and your family when you're out here doing food delivery. You got to understand that these apps, they care about their bottom line and their profits, and although they need us to take the deliveries to the customers, they are really in business to make money, and that is the biggest concern they have. The customers are also concerned, and their biggest concern is paying the lowest amount they can to have food delivered to their house from the restaurants without having to go out and get it themselves. And for us drivers, our biggest concern is to make the most money that we can while we're out here doing food delivery. So make sure you're always paying attention to what the apps are doing so that you can get the best orders that are going to make you the most money when you're out here. I want to remind you, head down into my description, go grab my metric spreadsheet if you haven't done so yet. I also have some other great tools like the Beans app and SimplyWise and QuickBooks Self-Employed. Would like to also ask you to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Finally, I want to leave you with, I hope that you are out there getting the money that you and your family deserve. And with that, I want to say thanks.